I'd say the easiest way to describe the band, for me, would be that it's less a country band. We never considered it a country group when we first got together, or when we first recorded, or when our first album was released. But it had to be put somewhere, so that's where it was put. And we were comfortable with that, knowing that it wasn't a Nashville country group. You know, I'm sure the Rankin family, I think, has similar feelings along that line. That's where they're put, country. Like, I don't know, where else do you put that? Where else do you put us? And that grew naturally out of, you know, the early days of the band, where Billy's manager, who's now our manager, was going to Nashville to get a deal, looking for a deal for Bill, and so we were putting all our country songs together onto tape and sending it down there and that sort of thing. But all that has changed, you know, 100 times since then.
What kind of music do you play? Rock and roll. It's all rock and roll. It's an attitude. It's not a form anymore. It's the way you approach a piece of music. Country, rock, you know, jazz, rock. It's all rock and roll.
Why, oh, why don't you come and see me when I cry? Oh, I know you're gonna miss me when you're crying too. Whenever you see me, all the tears are gone. Why don't you know you're the one that I need to see before the crying's done?
For me, going into a studio and recording is like going into a sandbox and playing with pails and shovels. So there's this excitement, another kind of adrenaline rush of going in, knowing that you've got to lay something down. So, you know, and so there's that anticipation. There is excitement. After you hear your first your first track back, you hear it. It sounds great. You get all jazzed up, and you go, okay, let's do the next one. Then everybody gets an excitement going. So there is excitement in the studio, but it's just not the same kind of excitement as it is playing a live gig. That's all. But it is nonetheless.
And there's no one to play for in the studio. There's just no one to bounce anything off of except each other. So you better make the best of that.
If it's really gotta be this way, I can take it. I know. I'll just carry on day to day until I make it on my own. Yes, I'll cry. Oh, I'll cry. And I'll forget you, girl, by and by. Yes, I'll forget you someday. If it's really gotta be this way.
I've never really wanted to do much else, no. Writing, but I do write anyway. I don't write books and to get them published. But it's all part of the same thing for me. It all feels like the same job to me. That's the only other thing I've ever wanted to do, and I kind of do it anyway. So no, there's no profession that is suffering because I've chosen to be a musician.
I once aspired to be just a general science teacher in high school. You know, a little bit of geo, a little bit of phys, a little bit of chemistry, a little bit of the earth sciences, you know, and some astronomy. I have a penchant towards that kind of thing, you know. Stephen Hawking reigns supreme, you know, and that's what I was going to do. I was going to teach high school, and then rock and roll kind of nudged it out of the way.